Hi, welcome to my views and news. A three news story. Eritrea is protesting. Eritrea summoned British shocked affairs yesterday. What happened? What is the reason? Warning issued from Eritrea to British shocked affairs in Asmara. Secondly, Somalia welcomed Awdal State Movement leader with open arms yesterday. Who is this man? Why is Somalia backing Awdal State Movement leaders? I think they want to create a separate state, separate country, or they want to be part of Somalia. But Somalia is heavily involved now in Somaliland. Though Somalia says it's that Somaliland is part of Somalia, it has every right to be involved there. Somaliland rejects this right. Thirdly, PM Abiy is due to respond to questions at Parliament after a few hours. A new appointment could be tabled at this session of House of Representatives. Who is going to be appointed to a top position? Firstly, viewers, Eritrean Foreign Ministry summoned British shocked affairs yesterday to protest, to warn the British shocked affairs in Asmara. And Eritrean Ministry of Information confirmed that in a statement last night that British shocked affairs was given a stern message, a stern warning from Eritrean Foreign Ministry. What happened? The Information Ministry of Eritrea in the statements issued last night said that British officials were peddling false accusations against Eritrea, and they endorsed TPLF's occupation of Eritrean territories in the past, and now they are spreading false allegations against Eritrea. That is why this shocked affairs was summoned. Which false accusations are being made by the Britain? What happened? Well, UK State Minister Andrew Mitchell visited Tigray this week. He met with Getachew. He visited a hospital in Mekelle. He visited an IDP camp. And then he expressed concern at the humanitarian situation in Tigray. And there, Andrew Mitchell called for withdrawal of Eritrean forces from Tigray. This is not the first time that UK or EU have called for withdrawal of Eritrean military from Tigray territories. This call for withdrawal is the reason behind Eritrean ministry's decision to summon British shocked affairs. Eritrean position is that its forces are not in Tigray. Eritrea has unilaterally implemented the decision made by a boundary commission formed after Algiers agreement more than 2 decades ago. The boundary commission gave a verdict, gave a decision which was not implemented. Eritrea accused TPLF, EPRDF back then, and EPRDF did not implement the decision. Eritrea accused Westerners too, that US Western countries backed EPRDF led by TPLF, and TPLF remained in occupation of Tigray territories. Now, Eritrean government is in control of those territories awarded to Eritrea by that boundary commission. So Eritrea has unilaterally imposed the decision of that boundary commission. Tigray protesting, it wants Eritrean military to withdraw from these territories. Eritrea protesting against the remarks made by British minister, because It believes that it is not integral. Its forces are not integral. That is why no talks are likely. Eritrea believes it does not need to talk to Tigray because it is not in control of Tigray territories, Ethiopian territories. Tigray wants talks. It wants EDF to withdraw from territories. Then talks can be held, decision can be made. Eritrea not willing. So this border issue will remain unresolved because the two sides are not happy with the new arrangement. New arrangement means that Eritrea has taken control of territories and Tigray has claims to these territories. Secondly, viewers, Somalia is interfering in Somaliland. Somalia says Somaliland is part of Somalia. It has every right. But the main purpose of intervention is to stop Ethiopia's Somaliland MOU signed more than a month ago. It's still an MOU. It could not turn into an agreement due to massive regional, international, diplomatic pressure on Ethiopia. Ethiopia waiting for the storm, diplomatic storm to subside and then make moves. Meanwhile, Somalia is playing all its cards. It is using diplomatic pressure. It is resorting to public mobilization. It is resorting to regional pressure on Ethiopia. It is putting its forces on alert. It is saying it can put the fight against Al-Shabaab on the back burner, but it won't let Ethiopia set foot on Somaliland, on Somali territory. Awdal State Movement is a movement working for establishment of a separate Awdal state. Awdal is the zone through which Ethiopia will have to pass to gain access to sea. Ethiopia wants to establish a naval base in Lohaya. Lohaya is in Awdal. Awdal shares border with Ethiopia. And this zone is a crucial zone because if Ethiopia gains access to sea, if it establishes a naval base in Somaliland, it will have to have a corridor through Awdal. And the naval base will also be in Awdal. Lohaya is in Awdal. In Awdal, some groups have been working to establish a separate state fighting against Somaliland security forces. Awdal State Movement self-proclaimed leader arrived in Mogadishu yesterday. His name is Professor Abdus Salam Ibrahim, warmly welcomed there. And in Mogadishu, a conference of Awdal elders and notables was held reportedly. So Somalia is now going to back Awdal State Movement. Does Awdal State Movement want Awdal zone to be a separate country or part of Somalia? I think Awdal State Movement have been struggling for a separate country. And Awdal State Movement have been making offers to Ethiopia as well. It has been making offer to Ethiopia as well. It wanted to give access to sea to Ethiopia in return for Ethiopia recognizing this movement as the legitimate player owner in Awdal zone. But Ethiopia, some background contacts were made, but Ethiopia did not entertain the idea of recognizing Awdal State Movement as a key player. Ethiopia made the deal with Somaliland government. Now Somalia backing Awdal State Movement because it wants this movement now to create conflict in Awdal zone so that Ethiopia cannot pass through the zone to gain access to the sea in Somaliland. Thirdly, viewers, PM Abiy of Ethiopia will respond to questions from MPs after a few hours. We know that the Parliament made this announcement this week. MPs were told to submit their questions. They have submitted their questions, but those MPs who are known for asking tough questions are behind the bars. Christian Tadale in prison, then Dassel and Chana in prison as well, under Gacho, Gaidu under Gacho, fled Ethiopia. Gaidu is not known for asking such tough questions, but the two Nama leaders are known for asking tough questions. So who will ask challenging questions at the parliament today? We don't know. And it's up to the Prime Minister to address the questions or not. Reportedly, a new appointment could be tabled at the parliament today. PM Abiy is going to nominate his deputy. Masgan Tarone, the intelligence agency chief of Ethiopia, could be appointed as deputy prime minister and foreign minister. He's in Amhara. He is going to replace Demake Mekonnen. Demake Mekonnen, former deputy prime minister and foreign minister, resigned a few days ago. He was given a standing ovation by Prosperity Party members. Was going to take his place. Maybe Tomascan Trone, and some say that maybe at today's parliament session, Tomascan Trone's appointment could be approved. I'll update you in coming videos about PM Abiy's appearance at the parliament. The man wants to be seen as a democratic leader. That is why he responds to questions at parliament as if he's answerable to people, he's answerable to people's representatives. But the reality is that he's silencing his critics. He's not letting people speak. Prosperity Party members, leaders are being arrested, thrown in prisons if they criticize the Prime Minister. Then we ask crime. What was his crime? He criticized the Prime Minister. Then a drama, a made-up drama that OLA flag was recovered from Dandia's house. While a member was recovered from his house, which was all propaganda. Basically, he criticized the government. He criticized the Prime Minister directly. That is what his crime was, and he was thrown in prison. This is the freedom of speech which the Prime Minister is ready to tolerate. But he wants to be seen as a democratic leader. Let's see what he says at the parliament meeting today. Thank you for watching.